Hello there and good evening. Thank you for coming back to my channel. I am happy to see that many of you are benefiting from my channel. And so of course I'm going to ask you to like, to subscribe, and also to push the notification button so that you can receive new videos when I upload them. So this is Valentine's month, I would say, or Valentine's week. And so I figured to touch on some of the most important topics that concern your love life. And one of them, I imagine, is your sex life. Some of you haven't been intimate for a long, long time. And some of us blame it on COVID, on work, on the kids, on everything but ourselves. So it's time to just sit back, kick back, and just talk about this. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about you and your partner. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be, and then those things that need to be improved. And I'm touching on this subject because I've been asked some questions that I think would be helpful to reignite, to rekindle your relationship, your sexual relationship, to be more specific. So you know me, I don't like to reinventing the wheel. A lot of good work has been done by professionals in my field as well as other fields. And so I hopped online and I found this article that I think is very, very exciting. And the title of the article is "For Better Sex, 8 Tips No Couple Should Go Without." You can't go without these 8 tips, and I want to hear your feedback on this. So the author of this article, her name is Shannon Lee. And Shannon Lee has featured on the Wall Street Journal. She's featured on TV One. She's featured on Playboy. She's featured on Cosmopolitan, as well as Good Housekeeping. Go find this article and just read it in detail and see what you can extract from it for your love life. She's featured on Marie Claire, on Women's Day, Redbook. I mean, Shannon is a woman's media center. So she's been around. So this is, I think, a very exciting article. So I'm going to share the first 4. I want to keep this video brief. I want you to be maybe turned on in a good way, turned on in a way that you can look forward to your sex life again. That's how I want you turned on. I'll let your partner do the rest. Anyway, so she starts the article by saying, push the reset button on your sex life. I like that. And that's what I'm going to tell you to do. Push that reset, refresh button on your sex life. And she talks about how it is common for couples to be in a sexual rut. So if you're feeling like you're in one, you're not alone. We just don't talk about these things often because we don't want to look bad. But you're not alone. A lot of couples do experience dry spells, and that's just part of a relationship. I know that initially you used to do it like bunnies, but now you're like, what happened? And you talk about it, but you never get to it. So my hope is that this month you're going to make effort to get back into rekindling your sexual life and do it as much as maybe you used to do it initially. So she does say that as we become more and more familiar with our partners and in our relationships, we kind of tend to be less exciting and sex becomes less and less exciting. But so here are some quick tips, some of which she has tried, and to help reignite passion in your life. It is possible. So let's work on reigniting it this February, this love month. So the number 1 tip is to liberate your body's energy in a new way. Some of you, the word energy means something outside of yourself, but no, liberating that energy could mean just going dancing. Now, some of you, or some of us, are very uncomfortable with our bodies, and we cannot freely move our bodies because maybe we don't feel as attractive because we've gained so much weight. Maybe we just have never been comfortable with our bodies. So she says, go dancing or try yoga. And also affirm connection with your own body. And as you affirm that with your own body, you will be able to confirm or affirm your connection with your partner. And it does make sense. If we're totally out of touch of our bodies, if we're unhappy with our bodies, if we don't love and like our bodies, it will be very difficult for us to give our bodies to our partners. So She says that there's a survey that found that coupled but sexually inactive people are prone to feelings of sadness, depression, and also feeling unattractive. So she says that what we need to do is to reclaim our sexual power by finding new ways to move and get comfortable in our own body. So, number one, liberate your body's energy in a new way. Do a new exercise that you've never done. Stretch, walk, exercise, elevate your heart rate in a different way than you've ever done. Number two, she suggests to reignite your dopamine with a fresh experience. And by that, she means try something new. And I don't want to get too detailed, but try maybe new positions, maybe new tricks that you have talked about but you've never tried. Just become more comfortable with yourself. Maybe a new experience like just touching each other. Johnson & Johnson's has suggested that, where you just touch each other and not even focus on trying to have sex, and who knows what will happen if you touch long enough. So a new experience, reignite your dopamine with a fresh new experience. Doing something new creates a sense of bonding and intimacy. Think outside the box, what that may be for you, and maybe some things that you have talked about that you won't tell anybody, but you both are willing to try. Think outside that box and do an activity that might even scare you or excite you. She actually does suggest maybe an amusement park, maybe going on a roller coaster. Could be something that may reignite your dopamine in a different way. Just that new experience, that new rush may take you to another level of experience. Experts do say that dopamine and other chemicals in the brain are directly linked to physical attraction and romantic passion, which is why bonding over a new activity together could help spark arousal. So number two, reignite your dopamine with a fresh experience, whatever that may be. Some people cannot go on roller coasters, but what is that new experience that you think will elevate your dopamine levels? So number one, liberate your body's energy in a new way. Number two, reignite your dopamine with a fresh experience, a different spice, a different experience. Number three, she says, schedule a sex fact finding night. I'm a big fan of that one because some of us, our sexual lives have gone awry because we do not talk about, we don't tell our partners what we want, what we like, what we do not like. So we've had this experience for years of something that they do to us that we do not like. We bear through it. No bearing anymore, not 2021. Express yourself, talk. So schedule that one night and call it Sex Fact Finding Night. And in this session, you take one night to have a raw discussion about what you do and do not like sexually. Yes, be bold, be open, speak honestly, speak openly. Explore new sex moves, and talk about your hidden fantasies, whatever they may be. Talk about them. And she also says, don't pressure yourself to be sexy. Just experiment to see what you like and say what you normally avoid saying out of fear of embarrassment or sounding insensitive. Just be honest and truthful, because you holding on to something uncomfortable will not help your marriage. It really will not, actually. It will destroy it. There was an online research survey done in 2016, and 1,200 men and women ages 18 to 25 showed that men and women have wildly different sexual expectations. So talk about your expectations in the bedroom. These expectations are unlikely to change overnight. So couples must communicate their likes and dislikes. You really do need to talk about your likes and dislikes in bed in order to have a mutually pleasurable experience. So those are the top three that I'm going to share with you. I'm going to share the rest in the next video. Stay tuned, stay tuned. You can already put the first three into practice, and I encourage you to. So number one was to liberate your body's energy in a new way. Number two, reignite your dopamine with a fresh experience. You pick what experience will elevate your dopamine and reignite it. And also schedule a sex fact finding night. This is actually one of my favorite because out of this can come a lot of openness and honesty, and also a sense of freedom, feeling free. Stay tuned. I have another 4 or 5 more to go. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about sex. Have a great evening. Goodbye.